Hi, my name is Primrose Manyalo. I'm a Global Networks Manager at Restless Development, and welcome to this PowerShifting blog series. We're going to have a couple of writers from young leaders we work with, our Chief Executive Officer, philanthropists, fundraisers, as well as volunteers and staff. I think the major topic we'll be discussing is how we can shift power and break hierarchies with regards to how development is done. Power shifting in development, especially in the context of restless development, means recognizing the power of young people, and handing over power to the change makers, because they are the ones who actually know the challenges that they face. They are the ones that understand their realities and all the challenges that they face. And they also have the solutions to that. So if it's in program design, for example, it's really making it a participatory approach and going to the communities, deep in the communities, and consulting people, understanding what their needs are, understanding what the problems are, and understanding where they think the solutions are. And I think this also really, speaks to the funding and how funding is distributed and how also giving is done. I think traditionally you'll have maybe very complicated, proposal writing, application processes, etc. But for me, when we talk about power shifting, it also includes philanthropy and giving, where actually giving is made also a participatory process. And, the intended change makers are actually consulted with regards to where they think the impact is, where they think the outcomes should be, and then using that information to determine how giving is done. And also, I think we can look at it from a communication perspective and really talk more about young people telling their stories, communities telling their stories, and not having other people tell their stories for them. So for me, I think those are some of the ways in which, we can really think about the topic around, power shifting and how to practically, apply it in the work that we do. So at Restless Development, we're all about youth leadership. Youth leadership is at the heart of everything we do. And we actually have a restless leaders strategy to multiply leaders. They say when the best leaders are done, the people will say they did it themselves. If I think of an example of, power shifting by a young person in action, I'll talk about the Africa Regional Forum that happened in Victoria Falls last week. We had young people with disability taking a stand. One young person called Ntando Yenkosi Mkandla from Bulawayo spoke alongside the UN Deputy Secretary General. And each time he would speak after Aya Chebi, the Africa Youth Envoy. I mean, come on, we all know that she's very eloquent and she's well-spoken, and there was a lot of pressure for him to actually deliver. But I liked the way that he actually, stood his ground, spoke his truth, spoke to the research that they had done, and strongly called for multiple things. I think some of them include, access to health for young people with disability, access to education, the United Nations that they want to see, in 2045 when the UN turns 100. And the good thing is that Amina was taking notes, and she quoted some of the things that he said in the opening summit, in the opening ceremony of the regional summit, which is a very good thing because he spoke directly to the Deputy Secretary General without any dilution. That's youth power, and that's a lot of power being portrayed by a young person. We also have multiple examples of young people using our youth-led accountability model, our youth-led research model, to make a case, especially with regards to increasing access to sexual and reproductive health rights for young people in Zimbabwe.